Hi guys, welcome back to Top Speed Golf. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to go low, how to make a lot of birdies. Now most of those birdies are going to come on par 5s. You get up close to the green in 2 and you need to wedge it up right by the hole, or on short par 4s where you're inside 100 yards. That's almost all your birdies are going to come from inside 120 yards, which are going to be these distance wedges we're going to talk about today. So a fun drill that I like to play, you can get a couple towels. I started these out. The first towel is about 20 yards from me. The second one's 30 yards. And you can go in 10-yard increments. You can bring as many towels as you want. As long as you have one towel, you should be fine. But I'll start it out about 20 or 30 yards. And then once I land one that actually lands on that towel on the fly, then I'll move it another 10 yards farther. So these 20 and 30 yard shots aren't too tough. As we start getting out 50, 60, 70 yards, they get a lot more difficult. Now I like to keep a book with me, and I'll keep track. Towel number 1, how many shots did it take me to get one to land on that towel on the fly? And then I'll write that number down, and then I'll go towel number 2, number 3, number 4. We're gonna go as far as you want to, all the way up to 100, 120 yards. If you're beginner to intermediate player, you may wanna stick with those under 50-yard shots. Those are gonna be a little bit easier. But then I can compare those time over time, and I can see in my log book just how much better I'm getting with my wedges, how much more control that I have. So now that we know that, great drill to practice. Let's talk about what we want to be focusing on as we're doing this drill. So number 1, I want to keep my body moving through contact. So I'm talking about my hips, my shoulders, my arms. In a full swing, we're going to get some lag in the downswing. Our body actually starts to decelerate, and then our arms kind of whip on through it. It's going to give us a lot of acceleration and a lot of distance. In these short game shots, I don't want to have that happen. I actually just want to keep everything rotating on through the shot nice and consistent. So my hips, my shoulders, my arms, everything's going to feel like it's working together. I may have the feeling if I stuck this club in my belly button that I'm getting everything to work on through just like this. Now I will have some forward shaft lean as I'm coming on through. I will have a little bit of wrist set, so I'm not going to get huge amounts of lag where I really come in like this, but I will have a little bit of wrist set, and I'm just letting the momentum of the club release it. I want to feel like in these bottom 3 fingers of my left hand, that's where I want to feel the pressure. And as I'm coming through, here's the club moving through contact, and everything just keeps on going. I don't want to slow down. Now, a key for this is to make sure that you get the right distance in your backswing. So if you're a member of the website, you're an all-access member, and you've watched our distance wedge series where we talk about the clock swings, you want to go ahead and adjust the distance of the shot by stopping at either 730, 9, or 1030 in the backswing, and then making a good full finish with all those. And that's going to allow you to be very consistent with your distances. So be sure to check those videos out. As you're working on this though, my tempo is really key here too. I don't want to feel like I'm rushing or I'm really trying to get a lot of power into this. I want to feel like my hands are nice and soft as I'm going back and through. And again, I should get a little bit of forward shaft lean so these balls come out fairly low with some good spin on them. So we see that one was fairly low, had some good spin. As it hit the ground, it wanted to check up a little bit. And I'll just practice a few more until I get that distance correct. Now, lastly here, I want to make sure that I hold my finish. It sounds a little bit silly on a little wedge shot that I'm going to hold my finish, but I want to go ahead and pause in my finish to focus on where that ball is going to land, and I get a really good feel for my distance control as I'm doing this. So let's say I go ahead and hit one. That one actually landed on the towel, but let's imagine I'm holding my finish and that landed a few yards short. Well, now I'm able to give my body the feedback on what that felt like when I'm a few yards short, rather than if I hit the shot and immediately just put the club back down, I've kind of lost that feel that I just had on the swing. So once I've done that, I immediately get the feedback, and I would write down in my book, you know, how many shots it took me to land on that one and move on to the next one. So here, let me recap. Bottom 3 fingers, that's where you're going to feel most of the pressure in this swing. I will get a little bit of wrist set as I'm coming back, but it's not going to be much. We're basically just letting the club do the work as we go back. As I come through, everything's moving through together. A big key for this is making sure that my body is stacked nice and up and down. I don't want to get a lot of tilt away like we would in a full swing shot. The big difference here is your spine's tilted away in the full swing. In your short game shots, you're going to have your feet a little closer together. Your spine's going to be up and down. That's going to help me to move everything through together as one unit. My hands are going to be nice and soft. I don't feel like I'm going to put any pressure in there with my hands. And then I'm really going to just keep a nice good tempo to be able to judge that distance. Let's go ahead and try one at the second flag. There we go, guys. Stick those close. You're going to be able to work on these day in and day out. You'll make more birdies. All right guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got an even better bonus for you. If we want to get distance in the golf swing, we've got to get a lot of lag, and then we've got to let that lag go. Well, I've got my #1 lag video. I'm going to play a preview of that here in a second. If you're on a desktop device, go ahead and click the link that pops up on your screen. If you're on a phone or a tablet, click the iCard that's somewhere on your screen right now. That's going to take you to where you can get instant access to that full video. Plus, you're going to get 5 videos from our Top Speed Golf system. Never going to cost you a dime. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Click that thumbs up button. That really helps us out. And also remember to subscribe. That way you'll see our newest videos. See you guys in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. I do it this way versus holding that position. Exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.